democratic governance, but to also make you look stupid as Nigerians. And he believes that we are stupid, that anything that he brings out, people will take it. And that's what has been happening. So where are the Yoruba elders? Where are they today? Where are they keeping quiet? Nigeria will not end, though, let me tell you. Anybody telling you all these things that Tinubu is doing, believe you me, just a flash.
Never mind that people are saying he may even he may elongate himself in power. You don't see that happening.
He will elongate himself in, what do you call that place? In Bodilon, yes. But not in the villa.
Are you serious?
He knows it himself now.
Okay. Let me
he knows it himself, because why do I say so? Let him tell us one person who has succeeded. From Gawan to today, who has succeeded?
IBB did not succeed.
Obasanjo did not succeed. So is it him that will come? How is it going to succeed?
Jagaban?
Bodilon now, Jagaban. Believe you me, if you investigate, most of the candidates you mentioned that are in other parties, they are all working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Really?
I'm just telling you.
Wow.
I'm in the game, so I'm telling
Somebody sat here and said the same thing.
No, I said I'm a national chairman.
That they have, apart from APC, yes, has other franchises.
Definitely, he has.
Wow.
Most of them. I can't say all of them.
This is Niger Unfiltered on Symphony TV. My name is Olawale Oluwade, and my guest today is former chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council, an engineer in the oil and gas services, and currently the chairman of the Action Democratic Party, engineer Yabagi Sani. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Nice to have you once again. I love it.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure having you.
Yes.
Always a pleasure. Yeah. Let's get on with our conversation, sir. There's a lot to cover in a very short time that we have. Okay, INEC has published the list of presidential candidates, their vice, and then especially their details, their qualifications, their previous places of employment, and all of those. Now, looking at this reality, especially a situation where the incumbent president has omitted his primary, secondary school that he attended, we only have university degree on INEC's portal. In fact, some places where he had claimed he worked before, they are already removed, like Deloitte, the global accounting is no longer there. What does this say about the state of our democracy, and what's your response to this?
It's not good for a country like Nigeria, because Nigeria, like we all know, is a promise of greatness. What is lacking is accountability, transparency, and the seriousness that is required in terms of governance, in terms of the personality, because the position of the president of the country, unlike when he was coming to contest, at the time he was coming to contest, everything can be taken for granted that, okay, this is the... But if you are a president, that is completely different from any other individual. So which means whatever you say or do must reflect the kind of expectation of a very high standard of, moral standing. You become the standard by which the country is really measured in terms of credibility and trust that people should have in the country. So you see, they may look at it as a way of perhaps circumventing, the normal scrutiny that greets such personalities, and especially when you are offering yourself, for renewal of your term, your tenure rather. It's and then maybe because a lot has been said in the past about his records as far as education is concerned, where he went to school and who he went to school with, which were very difficult to come by in terms of providing answers to people. So now they are thinking that it's a way of shutting up those people who may want to question his credentials. But that has been wise by half, because the records are there, and who even says that you must have this university, degree before you become the president of this country? That's not in the Constitution. What is the Constitution? Perhaps if you could even provide something that is equivalent to the school cert, that is the first school leaving certificate, it's enough. In fact, in some cases, you don't even have to first schooling certificate. If you can have something that is equivalent to that, maybe trade certificates or something like that, you can prove that this is equivalent to first. It's enough. You don't have to go to Chicago or wherever and say that you obtained a certificate that is, questionable. So I don't know who advises the presidency or the president himself, as to how he should relate with Nigerians and the outside world, because you should understand that he's no longer Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's now the president of Nigeria, and what he says, whatever he does, reflects what people will see about Nigeria, how they look at us. So, and I think the handlers should be more fair to him by ensuring that some of these things do not even come into public domain to be debated. This debate should have taken place, within the presidency, and the logical conclusion should have been that let's be very frank about what we are telling Nigerians, so that nobody. That's why I say it's a kind of deficit, in the credibility and the stature that is, of a president of a country, what you expect, so it's to me, I don't know what they aim to achieve, but whatever it is, I think they have failed and failed woefully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Alhaji, you said something that is very important. You said you would have expected the president's inner circle, his key advisors,
Exactly.
to have debated among themselves and come to a conclusion on how to present all of this time around.
Exactly.
To avoid the situation that we have now. The people are already raising dust, questioning this. In fact, some are already threatening to go to court again.
Yes.
Okay, so let's play scenario, Alhaji. Assuming you were the president, what should they have done in this current situation? Knowing everything that you know, what would they have advised? Assuming you even have his ears, what should they have done before arriving at this?
I'll tell you the truth. I'll bring it out as it is, that this is what it is. Because like I said, the first school living certificate specified by the Constitution, I think it says equivalent or the equivalent.
You don't even have to have gone to any school. That's
what I'm saying.
If INEC can actually, if INEC chair or any of the officer can say, I vouch for you, that you can read, you can write. So that's what I'm saying, that this is the kind of conversation that should have taken place and reached a conclusion. So you actually think they should have left that place blank. They should have left it blank without that Chicago State.
Why do you even have to put it there? You don't have to. If you want to remain within the purview of the Constitution, what the Constitution says, then provide something that is the minimum requirement. So I think like I said, I don't know who is advising the presidency or the president himself, but on this score, I think they didn't, they were not fair to him. They are not fair to him at all. It has not solved whatever problems they were trying to solve. And it's in fact further exposes Nigeria to ridicule.
Sir, with particular reference to public officials in this Fourth Republic, not less than 3 or 4 of them have either been forced out of office, forced to resign from their positions, or stopped from taking office because of perjury or forgery regarding educational qualifications. Bayelsa says, in Bayelsa, 2019 or so, if I'm not mistaken, a certain David Lyon and his deputy, they won the Bayelsa governorship election just a day before they were to be inaugurated.
Yes.
In fact, David Lyon, the governor-elect, was rehearsing.
Exactly.
On the parade ground.
Exactly.
He was rehearsing.
Yeah.
When the Supreme Court said, no, because your deputy is found truly to have forged certificates, that ticket, they say, is a joint ticket.
Yes.
That's how David Lyon stopped to become governor.
Exactly.
Kemi Adeosun, former Minister for Finance,
yes,
was made to resign because of forgery
Yes.
of NYC,
Yes.
NYC certificates.
Exactly.
Sanusi Buhari,
Yeah.
speaker, the first speaker actually
Yes.
in this Fourth
Yes.
Republic,
Yes.
was made to leave office
Exactly.
because
of the forged.
he produced a
Yeah.
fake
Yeah.
University of Toronto or
Exactly.
something like that.
Exactly.
I could go on and on, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why would the National Assembly, when they were amending this Electoral Act 2026, now said in Section 138, subsection 1 and 2, say forgery is no longer a grounds for disqualification of a candidate or someone who has... What happens, sir?
But your guess is as good as mine. What happens is that when you have a group of people, that are of the same flock, then of course you will not be surprised. What it means is that they condone forgery, and meaning that integrity is not anything that they feel is something to espouse, in the public service. But again, that is the beginning of the end of care is not taken of the country.
Wow. Really, sir?
It is, because if you have a country that is run by crooks,
Wow.
forgers, people that have no integrity, then how do you uphold, those tenets?
Like this wonder shall never end. Yes, sir. According to this man, according to Sani, he said that Tinubu will rule Nigeria worse than an emperor. You understand? So he deliberately concerning the state of the country. You understand? He talk concerning Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu. You understand me? So, well, for me, some of the submission, there's fat on it, but not all. You understand? So, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I want you guys to also drop your thoughts on the comment section. Also, want me to share. One of Sugar Boy.